the new trophy wife. I chose I married a monster reaction video. Thank you. A shout out to all the cousins who sent me this video a few days ago. I've just been trying to gather myself to figure out how I want to talk about this video. So ultimately I decided to do a reaction to it because there's just so many things and so many red flags that I want to point out and talk about. I did do a video yesterday, like how do you meet and marry a man in a week or two? There is no vetting. So I just wanted to also kind of bring myself down because, of course, I'm extremely angry and upset that this woman chose a husband who not only abused her, but abused her children. So I'm wearing white because I come in peace. But I want to help those of you who are on my channel. On this channel, we believe in choosing the best husband for you. We believe in vetting correctly. We believe in taking time to gather data. We believe in learning about men. In my book, 23 Types of Guys You Might Meet. There are a whole lot of different type of men out there. And it behooves us as women to make sure we choose the best husband for us. So good morning, cousins. I am finally doing this video. Thank you for those of you who sent it to me again. And shout out to you. I love you. Thank you. Welcome to all of our new cousins. I absolutely love you. To the young woman, Isis, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to those beautiful little babies. I pray that, first of all, I am so thankful and appreciate you for believing your girls. Thank you for that. Thank you for believing them. Thank you for seeking medical attention. And I pray that you are getting them the psychological help that they need. I pray and hope that you are getting the mental health care that you need. I would encourage you to take the girls down to the church. I was listening to a few of your videos. You're saying how your husband is a man of God, so on and so forth. So I would also seek spiritual advice, spiritual counseling, and also healing and deliverance for you and your girls and your children. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. I might do a separate video because not only is this a criminal act, but it's also a spiritual act and crime in the spiritual world that we need to talk about. Okay. So that's all I want to say to the young woman. If she's watching my video or anybody else who this is very sensitive to you, I suggest you log off right now and do not watch the rest of this video. If you are sensitive, if you've been a victim of SA, if you're sensitive to my content, I just don't think you should watch the rest of this video because I'm going to review the video and I'm going to point out the red flags. And I want to talk to my cousins, the ladies who's been listening to my content, who have buy my books, who are going through my mentoring courses, who listen to my content, who want to choose a good husband. Okay? All right. So, let's start with, I'm not going to start with the beginning, but I want to start with a part of the video where the young woman is saying her husband changed. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. I think I already speed this up. Speed it up to 1.5 so I don't get it.
I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like. But I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
Pause it right there. Let me expand this for those of you who's not seeing the video. Right here, she says, he raped me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. Are you seeing that? She says here, he raped me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. He raped me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. I'm going to say 3 times. He raped her 4 times in the first few months of their marriage. One more time. He raped her 4 times in the first few months of their marriage. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know, let's go back and see how they met and how she was able to marry this man in weeks. In weeks. And this one, I think I speeded up to 1.5.
Welcome back to the new trophy wife. Today, I'm going to be sharing my story with you guys about how I went from being a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than 1 year. And you can too. So, I had my first child when I was 17 years old. I intentionally got pregnant with my boyfriend at the time. And
okay, at 17 years old, she's going to tell you how to go from a single mom to being a trophy wife in a year. She intentionally got pregnant at 17 years old. What I want you to do is gather the mentality of this woman. Again, I'm talking to my cousins, okay? I want you to have an understanding of the mindset of this woman, okay?
Basically turned into a child raising a child. A few years later, had my second child. So after having 2 children and being a single mom, I think that my self-esteem was definitely low. I didn't know that at the time, but if I think back about the kind of men that I was choosing, it definitely was a reflection of my lower self-esteem. I think that.
Okay. So right here, she says the men she was choosing. Again, I'm talking to my cousins. So if you're not a cousins, please don't watch this. Okay. So nobody should be upset about my thumbnail because I said I chose a monster, because that is what you do when you get married to a man. You're choosing that man. Okay. So by her own confession, she talked about the men she was choosing. Okay.
Growing up, I was not taught the kind of men that I should be looking to attract and be in a relationship with. My mom drilled into me, oh, go with the man that's going to be the best breeder. And I think society drilled into me to go after the street dude, the swag.
Okay. So she wasn't educated on the type of man she should have chosen, right? A lot of women are not educated. Okay. The mom says, go for the best man for you. And society said, go for the thug. I don't think choosing the best man for you is bad advice at all. Okay. Because that's what I teach. Choose the best husband for you.
Type dude or whatever you want to call it. But neither one of those was the best approach to going about dating and attracting a husband. So after having my second child, I was working hard. I was making really good money. I think I was making about maybe 90K at the time, which for me as a 24-year-old woman was good. I thought I was doing good. I had my own place. I owned my car. I was very self-sufficient, all about the mindset of, oh, I can do it by myself. I don't need a man, as so many of us modern women say, I can do it all by myself. And I soon realized after one Christmas of it just being me and my two boys that I wanted a family. I wanted more for myself. It felt so lonely and it was sad. It was really
Okay, so she has two boys. She didn't say if they were two different fathers, but I'm making the assumption it's two different fathers, and none of them is present. At 24 years old, she's making. Hi, Michael. Good morning. Okay, you going back upstairs? Go back upstairs. Thank you, Michael. You're so sweet. You're such a sweet. Down. Okay, I'll call you down to make your snack. 24-year-old making 90,000, two father, two kids, making the assumption two different kids. She wanted more for herself.
sad. And it was, I'd say, one of the lowest points in my life. And I realized that I don't want to do this on my own. I don't want to raise these boys on my own. I want a family. I want someone that I can love, someone that loves me and my children. And after that was when I decided that I was going to change the kind of men I was dating and what I was attracting. One of my sisters at the time had told me that I should create an online profile. And I was so against doing that because I was like, well, online profiles are only for people that are desperate and I look good. I'm not desperate. I don't need to, I can find a man just going out. And I was against it at first.
Ladies, there's nothing wrong with online profile. There's nothing wrong with online dating. Now everybody want to demonize online dating. No, if you meet him online, at the park, at church, you still need to vet him. You still need to gather the data. Don't matter where you meet him. A man is a man. He's not an alien. He's a man. So no matter where you meet him, you must vet him. How many of y'all was abused by men, family members before online? Okay.
And I think I also had a skewed version of what a high value man was at the time as well. I thought that a good mate or the man to go after was the one with the super nice car and a stack of money and the jewels and the chains on with the swag. Like I thought that was the man that I should be going after, but that was definitely not the type of man that I should have been going after. And I learned quickly that just because someone looks like they have it together does not mean that they have it together. And typically the things that person is probably doing to get money is not sustainable and probably not something that you would want to be involved in. And after learning quickly that everything that glitters is not gold, I happened to come across Shira7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life. And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband. So I ended up taking my sister's advice and signing up for eHarmony. She recommended Match, but in my spirit, I felt eHarmony. I don't know why. It's just something told me to do that one. So I ended up signing up for eHarmony. I created a profile, and I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband. And it was very different. My husband and I have a 20-year age gap, and he was not the first older man that I dated. I actually dated someone 10 years older than me, and that was just a buzz. A lot of people have told me that I'm very mature for my age, so someone 10 years older than me just wasn't a...
So at this point, 24, 25, this man is 20 years older, so he's like 50. What the hell are you doing? You're 25 with a man 50 years old enough to be your father and probably your grandfather. I think 10 years is perfect because men mature lower. So she's 25-year-old and a 35-year-old man is not mature enough for you.
Big enough age gap for me to vibe with. It just wasn't. Yeah. So when I met my husband, I knew right away almost. And people say that, but it was definitely true. I know it sounds cliche. Just from our first date, it just felt natural. I felt like I just had known this person already. It was so comfortable. So
Okay. So right there, she met him and she felt like she had already known him. Red flag. What I tell y'all ladies about emotions. Huh? If you just meet somebody and you feel like you've known them for years, run for your life, because that is your emotions taking charge. Another thing, if you've talked to him in long enough to make it feel like you know him, that's because you spend too much time on talking to him. And what do we say over here, girls? 2 minutes. Hey, bye. 15 minutes, long enough to plan a date. Okay, let's go.
So we went to a really nice seafood restaurant and it was great. It was an amazing first date. And mind you, I think we both were kind of just dating different people at the time. And that's definitely something that I recommend if you're looking to, find a husband. It's not just dating one person at a time. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket, but we had a great.
Yes, I totally agree. And I teach over here to date multiple men at once, because what does dating means? Dating is to gather data. It's about data. It's like taking four subjects in college. You take four college classes and you pass all four of them. Think about a man like that. You could date all of them. And soon as you learn something about them that doesn't go with what you want, you drop, move along. Come on, girls, drop, move along. Okay. All right.
Great first date, and I think he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend on the first date, and I said I would think about it. I know that
so a man you just met is asking you to be his girlfriend. Red flag. Red flag. I don't know you. I don't have enough data about you. You don't know me. You don't have enough data. Now it's different. You can know, like my husband said on our first date, he said, I knew you was my wife. He never told me that. He told me that years after we've been married. He said, on our first date, I knew you was my wife. I knew. He said, I knew it. But he never told me that. That was something that he knew within his own self, that I was his wife. And he said, I knew you was my wife because the things that I was looking for, you checked off. Okay.
Universe Guru talks about how you shouldn't fall into the girlfriend trap. And it was kind of something that I just intuitively knew, like, I'm not just going to agree to be your girlfriend just after meeting you, because I know that you just want me to be your girlfriend so that you can get in my pants. So.
Okay, she didn't want to fall in the girlfriend trap. I want you to remember that, right? Do not fall in the girlfriend trap. 10 years of girlfriend. I wrote a whole book on it about being a 10-year girlfriend. She just met him. She don't know him. He just wants her to be the girlfriend so he could fall in her pants. And she did not want to fall into the girlfriend trap because I just met you. I want you to remember that. Okay, ladies? Remember that.
I didn't agree, and we both were, we were talking, but then for some reason we kind of stopped talking for a little while, and we both were dating other people and doing our own thing, and then I had gotten into a serious relationship with somebody, and I ended up falling for the girlfriend trap, but that guy had really been investing a lot into me and doing a lot for me, so I kind of felt like I had to agree to be his girlfriend because he asked me multiple times, and I finally agreed. So after me and him broke up, well, let me rewind. So me and him ended up breaking up because he just didn't really vibe with my oldest son, who was 5 at the time.
Okay. So they were dating other people and you fell into the girlfriend trap with the guy that was dating you. Y'all living together and you broke up. Listen to what she says. He did not vibe with my son. Okay, so the man you're living with did not vibe with your son. I want you to remember that, ladies. Okay?
I could tell that he was really just putting up with my kids. he didn't really embrace them.
He was just putting up with her kids, and he didn't embrace her children.
Sometimes, we as mothers can tell like someone's just being nice to our kids for the purpose of being with you, and they're not necessarily invested in your kids themselves. And that's what I felt like from him. So it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a family, the kind of family that I was wanting. So I ended up breaking up with him, and we were living together. We were living together, and I just like packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day
she was shacking up. So it sounded like talking to the guy on the computer. Then she meets somebody, moving with him, was shacking up with him. He didn't vibe with the kids. They were living together.
My now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why. And he was telling me like, "Oh, those are my boys," and he had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was.
So you went out with this man one time. Y'all stopped talking. You met somebody else. You're shacking up. You're living with him. He didn't embrace your son. You break up with him. The now husband call you, and you explain to him what's going on. And he says, those are my boys. The man you went out with once, the man you talked with, man you didn't spend a lot of time around, is telling you, those are my boys. Okay.
Not the kind of man that was just being nice to them to get to me. Like, it was very genuine. And that was one of the things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out about him versus the other men that I had dated, was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children.
He was genuine towards your kids. The strange man you just met was genuine towards your children. Mm-hmm.
And so, he was talking, my lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, "Hey," it was so embarrassing to admit, but I was like, "I need a place to stay because my lease is ending, and I just."
So the strange man you just met, you're telling the strange man you just met your lease is ending. You need a place to stay. You also said you made $90,000 at 24, 25. You was making 90,000. 24, 25, 26. I was making 50,000. Had my own apartment, own car, life insurance, health insurance, investment, everything. You was making $90,000. You're living with your boyfriend. Your lease is about to end, and with your $90,000, you couldn't find an apartment. You have to move in with a strange man you just met. Okay, I'm just translating for y'all ladies.
Broke up with my boyfriend, and maybe even if it's just like for a couple of weeks, it's okay. Just so I look for, somewhere else, because I had planned on needing to find somewhere else. And he was saying, "Well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend." And I was like, "Well, how spontaneous are you?" And
red flag. The strange man you just met that you want to move in with is telling you, if you're going to live with me, it's as my wife, not as my girlfriend. You don't see that as a red flag. Maybe I shouldn't say you. Maybe I should say she, right? Because I'm talking to the cousins.
he laughed and he said, "Very spontaneous." So then
she said, "Oh, you're spontaneous." No. Spontaneous is him calling you and say, "I want to take you to New York to dinner." That's being spontaneous. Spontaneous is not come live with me, a stranger you just met. That's not spontaneous.
I was like, right. So we started entertaining the idea of getting married, like, immediately. And
so you start entertaining the idea of getting married immediately to the stranger you just met.
I, didn't want to get my hopes up. So I just said that, he's saying all these things, but I'm going to see what action that he takes. And so I had just got paid, and I was like, okay, we seem like we're really talking about seriously entertaining the idea of getting married. So I'm going to go and get the wedding ring. We were talking about getting married like the next week, and he was out of town in Colorado, so we hadn't seen each other. This is all talk over the phone, over FaceTime. So I went and got his ring. I think I paid like $300 for it. It was
Bought a ring for the stranger you just met.
like a super flashy ring like the one he has now, which is completely a lot better. But I went and got his ring, and the next time we talked on FaceTime, I was like, I did something. And he was like, what did you do? I was like, I got your wedding ring. So he was like, no, you didn't. Show me. So I showed him. I said, yeah, I actually did it. I don't know if you were really being serious, but we're talking about getting married. So I had really bad habit of like spending money. And I was like, if I don't get the ring now, then I'm not gonna get it. So I went ahead and got it. And that put the fire under him to, I guess, really go and look for my ring. Well, let me rewind. So then after that, I think it was like the next day, somebody told me to go online and check my eHarmony profile. So I went on there and I saw that he had updated his picture, and I was like, oh no, this dude is playing around. Like, I'm glad I didn't spend a whole bunch of money on this ring. Like, he was just playing. And I screenshotted it and sent him a picture, and I said, it doesn't seem like we're on the same page. So yeah, I'm done with this. And he texted me. He was like, or I think he tried to call me. I didn't answer. And he texted me and he was like, no, I'm serious. I am going to marry you, in caps. And I think that evening he like ended up going and buying my ring. Yeah, he went and bought my ring. And the ring that he got me is not the ring I have now. It was a nice ring, but it wasn't nearly as big as the rock that I'm currently sporting. But when he showed it to me, in my head, I said, it's not about the ring, it's about the marriage. And I definitely think that that's something that you ladies should keep in mind, is that if a man is going to propose to you, don't make it about the ring, because that can really turn a man off and make him think that that's all that you care about is having a big ring, when it's more important to have the marriage. And I knew that in my heart. I was like, all right, I'm not going to say anything about the size of the ring. It's still a nice ring. I'm going to take it and we're going to get married. So we ended up getting married the next week. Everybody was shocked. I randomly called my mom, my grandmother, hey, I'm getting married in a few days. We got married at the courthouse because I told him I don't need a big wedding. I rather spend that money elsewhere. And we had a really beautiful wedding reception in DC at a really nice restaurant. It was gorgeous. So yeah, that is how I ended up getting married. But I think that also something that I want to let you guys know is that becoming his wife and really being the kind of woman that could just get a ring like that took work. At that time, I had really become a better version of myself, a better version than the woman that was dating thugs and, living in some kind of secular lifestyle. I had to become the kind of woman that a man would want to take around his colleagues and his mother, and be the woman that's adding value to him just by standing next to him. But yeah, I know it's kind of a interesting story, but I also helped two of my sisters to get married. They both got married in less than a year as well. So I'm really good at knowing how to get women the ring and to get the kind of men that you would be proud of. So if you ladies are interested in learning more about how to become a trophy wife, then please click subscribe. I would love to have you here. Stay tuned. We are going to be giving all the tips, all of the information that you need to become the best version of yourself, to level up and become the woman not only of your dreams, but of his. So I will see you ladies next time. Please comment, subscribe, like. All right, well, that is.
Okay, y'all. So I think since this video is about 30 minutes, I think I'm going to end it here. And then I'm going to do the second part of this video maybe later today, or yeah, probably later today. I'll do this video later today, but I just wanted to give you ladies the foundation. I want to give you ladies the foundation of who this young woman was, how she got married. Okay. And those poor innocent dum-dums over there in her comments. Oh my God, I want that. I want this. Oh my God, I want to get married in 2 weeks. What data do you gather in 2 weeks? Okay, I have to go. I love you. Comment below what you think about what she said, what you think about what I said, and I'm going to come back and do part 2. Talk to you later. Bye.